This is only about 12 years ago. I'm in Boulder, walking my dog about midnight in a neighborhood. Nobody else is awake. Everything is dead. But I keep spinning my head around because I keep thinking I'm not alone out here, that something is going on. And I keep doing that for probably like 10 minutes. And I finally say, you're being stupid. You're being paranoid. You just watch a scary movie. That's probably what's in your head. Finally, I had to look behind me. And when I look behind me, there's some dude about my height, really pale, walking in my footsteps, like his feet are with mine, like that Breakfast Club dance they do, like that. And I remember I jerked forward, and that's where that memory shuts off. It just like, psh. Some stories, though, they're meat grinders. Moments after you stumble outside to what you think is going to be the arms of the police, the lenses of the reporters, the arms of your aunt and uncle just getting back to town, moments after you leave this gym floor, as if you can ever leave a scene like this behind you, an eyelid will peel back all at once, an index finger will twitch, and now it's starting all over. But it doesn't have to. Granted, a chest pierced with 45 slug after 45 slug isn't quite enough to get the job done. Evil doesn't have a heart to blast through. But there are bodily mechanics that even the most wrong-driven slasher can't get around. Try this. While your slasher's down, instead of stumbling away to the light, step back into the darkness for a few moments more. Kneel down over this body. Kneel down with a blade or with teeth, with whatever's handy. Remove the right boot. Start with the Achilles tendon. You might have to saw a little, but try leaning down hard on the ball of the foot to stretch that tendon even wider. You'll have to scream while doing this. There's no other way. The sound of that tendon rupturing, though, you'll want to hold your breath for that, to hear it, to feel its quick release, its wet snap. Now take the left boot off and repeat. If you only take away one of your slasher's ankles, then all you've done is given it a scary limp, which, in the peculiar algebra of horror, will only serve to make it somehow faster. Both ankles, though, and its slashing radius is significantly reduced. If your slasher doesn't wake from that second tendon slithering back up into its dark calf, then you may want to do whatever damage you can to the patellar tendon as well. This is directly below the kneecap. And those two rubber bands behind the knee that feel like steel, they're not. Feel them now so you know what I'm talking about. Scissors will get that job done. If you're in a high school, check the closest teacher's desk. Right knee, left knee. Snip, snip, snip. I didn't start hunting deer and elk until I was 12, I think it was. Went up to the reservation with my dad, got my first deer, first elk as well, a bull elk. And I knew I was going hunting, and so I went to the flea market in Texas before that and bought a big old Rambo knife. You remember those? They had the teeth on the back and like a compass. And I thought I was king of the world. And so we knocked down this bull elk. My dad and my uncle get out the saw and the knife. They're gonna dress this elk out for us. And me and my cousin Ladale, he's a year younger than me, we said, hey, we can do it. We're gonna dress this elk. And they said, guys, this is a bull elk. This is too big for y'all. And we said, we can do it. We can do it. And they said, sure. So they leaned back against the truck and let us go at it. And all we had was my big Rambo knife. And we were able to get the belly slit. We pulled out some of the guts. I'm sure we burst them and made a big mess. But when you dress out an elk, you have to split the sternum. And to get at the lungs and pull all that stuff out, you go up there and cut the windpipe and pull it all out. And usually you have a saw for that sternum. And we tried using the saw on the back of my Rambo knife, but it turns out it was not that good of a saw, And so what we decided finally with our brilliant 11 and 12-year-old planning minds was we rolled the elk onto his back. So I sat on the elk and he backed off about 20 feet with my knife. And he's trying to aim between my fingers, to get that sternum, to split it. And we nodded and said, all right, you ready? We're ready. And he just dives, leading with that knife. Of course,